You should go to a prison and you should sit the rest of your life, and all your funds should go to your children. What's going on? It's Leaf. I also make Twitch and TikTok content, so please like, comment, and subscribe. Today, we have Moist Critical and talking about Dr. Disrespect, who, if y'all do not know, is having pedophilia allegations.
Wow, what a crazy day this has been.
Yes,
so
it has,
I'm
Charlie.
sure pretty much all of you that clicked on this video already know about what's happened with the Dr. Disrespect situation. To catch you up to speed with the briefest previously on Dragon Ball Z recap, Dr. Disrespect was the face of Twitch. In 2020, he was mysteriously banned from the platform and not a peep had ever been uttered about why. This was a secret more guarded than the Krabby Patty formula. I really thought we'd never know the reason that Dr. Disrespect was banned. I thought they'd be taken to the grave. I thought we'd crack faster than light travel before we ever learned what the reason behind it was. But then from out of nowhere on just an average quiet Friday night, a former Twitch employee dropped a bombshell allegation claiming that Dr. Disrespect was banned due to sexting a minor through the Twitch Whispers service.
Can I just say, I don't give a fuck who you are. That is not okay.
Now, there was never any screenshots or evidence provided to support that claim. However, some other parties came forward saying that they had all heard a similar reason behind the ban. Dr. Disrespect then made a response to that statement, which was less than satisfactory for most people with a functioning frontal lobe, because he talked very vaguely about it and didn't actually outright deny the claim at all. So then he made a follow-up statement, which...
Charlie's metaphors are fucking top tier. They should study his metaphors.
Aimed to provide a little more clarity, but it was still pretty vague, and both of these seemed to have like a lot of legalese talk to him to try, like, kind of tiptoe around the topic itself. So both of his responses, like the tweets, weren't received overly well. It was like he just kept stepping on a rake like in a cartoon and hitting himself in the face. He wasn't doing himself favors with his statements. But then the credibility of the source of behind this allegation started to be called into question, because people did digging through their Twitter and found out they'd actually been dangling this carrot in front of their audience about they know the reason Dr. Disrespect's been banned, and if you buy tickets to their concert, they might reveal it. So then people started to question that.
That's
and
crazy.
Then today, Dr. Disrespect released another statement where he admitted to the claim of talking to a minor through Twitch Whispers inappropriately.
I didn't know he admitted to it. Wow. Admitting to that is insane.
However, he denies that there was any real intent behind the messages, which is a crazy thing to say. Like, if any of you have watched To Catch a Predator, you'll recognize that tactic, that little maneuver right there, because that's something that was pretty frequent on that show.
You can watch Skeeter Jean too.
Went down and talked with Chris Hansen. A lot of them said that same thing pretty much. Like, oh, no, I didn't mean any of that. I was actually just teaching them a lesson about talking to strangers and the dangers of it. There was never any real intent behind the things that were said. Like, that's a very weird thing to try and say. So let's just go through his statement first, though. The Twitch ban. Hello, I'd like...
Just pause it for if y'all want to read it real quick.
...to make a statement. Let's cut the bullshit. As you know, there's no filter with me. I've always been upfront and real with you guys on anything that I can be upfront about, and I'm always willing to accept responsibility, which is why I'm here now. First and foremost, I do want to apologize to everyone in my community, as well as those close to me, my team, and everyone at Midnight Society.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Midnight Society Game Studio dropped the doc.
Game Studio. For those that don't know, I forgot to mention this in my lore exposition on this. His company that he founded, Midnight Society Game Studio, which had been working on a game with him for a long time, announced yesterday that they were going to be terminating him after they conducted an investigation, and after they assumed his innocence, found something through their investigation that made them uncomfortable keeping him around, so they let him go. So that's why he's mentioning them here. A lot of people have been left in the dark about what happened yesterday with Midnight Society and I, and we made the painful decision collectively to have me step down. Our team is full of incredibly talented and good people that have high career ambitions and families. I'd never want to jeopardize the culture we have carefully crafted. Now, before getting into the rest of this, I do want to mention Midnight Society themselves said that he was terminated. Here he's saying that he stepped down like it was a mutual decision. I don't know if this is like a you can't fire me, I quit type of situation. You know, turn in the badge and the gun and go your separate way as a lone wolf, or what? Like, there's just a bit of a discrepancy whether he was terminated by Midnight Society or if he himself and them left on good terms where he agreed to step down. Ultimately, the point is He's no longer associated with that studio anymore after they conducted their own investigation into the subject. Everyone has been wanting to know why I was banned from Twitch, but for reasons outside of my control, I was not allowed to say anything for the last several years. Now that 2 former Twitch employees have publicly disclosed the accusations, I can now tell you my side of the story regarding the ban. Were there Twitch whisper messages with an individual minor back in 2017? The answer is yes. Were there real intentions behind these messages? The answer is absolutely not.
Bullshit.
These were casual, mutual conversations that sometimes lean too much in the direction of being inappropriate, but nothing more. Nothing illegal happened, no pictures were shared, no crimes were committed. I never even met the individual.
Guys, literally like Charlie said, if you've ever seen To Catch a Predator, if you've ever seen Skeeter Jean, these right here, this is said more than anything else in that show. There was no real intentions. Mutual, it was mutual. And then they say, oh, their other line is, oh, I was just trying to make sure that nobody else was going to do it. What?
I went through a lengthy arbitration regarding a civil dispute with Twitch, and that case was resolved by a settlement. Let me be clear, it was not a criminal case against me, and no criminal charges have ever been brought against me. Now, the doc actually edited this statement twice. So initially, he posted it with the word minor in it, saying, were there messages with an individual minor? The answer is yes. But then shortly after he published it, he edited the word minor out of it. So he removed that. He redacted it like a fucking CIA document, trying to bury it, just snapping it out of existence. So then it read, were there messages with an individual? The answer is yes. But people were quick to notice the edit. And you can actually check edit history on Twitter, which I didn't know you can do. But you could clearly see that the original no longer matched the current one because he took the word minor out. So when people caught him red-handed, he just edited it one more time to put the word minor back into it. Now, there is a lot to say about just that small chunk right there, but I'm going to finish reading the statement first before we really dive into the weeds of it. Okay. Now, from a moral standpoint, I'll absolutely take responsibility. I should have never entertained these conversations to begin with. That's on me. That's on me as an adult, a husband, and a father. It should have never happened. I get it. I'm not perfect, and I'll fucking own my shit. This was stupid. Now, with all this said, don't get it mistaken. I've seen all the remarks and labels being thrown around so loosely. Social media is a destruction zone. I'm no predator or pedophile. Are you kidding me? Anyone that truly knows me knows where I stand on these things with those type of people. Fuck that. That's a different level of disgust that I hate even hearing about. Don't be labeling me as the worst of the worst with your exaggerations. Get the fuck out of here with that. But I think I've said what I needed to say regarding the ban itself. That's it.
Sick.
That's why Twitch made the decision in 2020. To my team, community, industry friends that have supported me, I apologize. I wish I could have said all this sooner. You guys have always shown me and my family love and support throughout all these years. We love you guys like you can't imagine. I have the best community and circle. If any of this has made you uncomfortable, I get it. You don't have to support me anymore, but just know you have always been greatly appreciated. Trust me when I say this. To all my haters that live and breathe social media with zero real-life experience, I don't give a fuck about you. Finally, if you're uncomfortable with this entire statement and think I'm a piece of shit, that's fine. I'm not going anywhere. Actual Wolf of Wall Street energy. I'm not fucking leaving. And I'm not the same guy that made this statement all those years ago. I'm taking an extended vacation with my family as mentioned on stream, and I'm coming back with a heavy weight off my shoulders. They want me to disappear. Yeah, fucking right. He tries to...
Charlie's a real one, because I don't know if you noticed. It said, I'm not the same person that made this mistake. Charlie read it as, I'm not the same person that made this statement. Because it wasn't a mistake. He did the shit on purpose.
Close this statement with a really hard, cheesy 80s action movie one-liner. They want me to disappear. Yeah, fucking right. Granny shifting, not double clutching like you should. You're lucky you didn't blow the welds off the intake. I'm not leaving. It's really kind of...
He's fucking crazy.
Ridiculous to put that there with accusations like this. These are super serious.
Yes.
Like, this isn't something
Top
people
tier.
take lightly at all. In his
I think
own
this is the
statement,
worst
he
thing you
has
can do
openly
as a
admitted to
human
messaging a
is
minor
sexual
and had
conduct with
conversations
a
that were
child, a minor.
inappropriate, or as he said, leaned into being inappropriate. Now, what's not clear and what a lot of people are coping with is that maybe Dr. Disrespect didn't know the age of the person he was communicating with.
Nah, bullshit.
But I truly feel
Bullshit. He
if
knows.
that was the case, Dr. Disrespect would have mentioned that, saying that he had those communications with this person.
Even if he did mention it, he fucking knows, bruh. He knows, bruh. You can literally look at somebody. He was talking to this girl on Twitter, I believe. I'm sure he's seen pictures of her. You can tell if somebody's young, man.
person that he believed.
Especially when you're a gray-haired man, you're really old. You've been around the block. You've seen it millions of times. You've seen children all your life. You have children, I'm pretty sure. You know what a child looks like.
Was of age but turned out to be a minor. I think if that was the reality of that situation, if he truly communicated with someone that he thought was of age but turned out to be a minor, I think he would have mentioned that in his statement, but he didn't. He didn't say that he was under the impression he was communicating with an adult. He just says that he had conversations with an individual minor. He doesn't say anything like, oh, they were actually one day away from being 18, or I really thought they were, in their 20s, or anything like that.
Yeah, he said it.
And I think if that was what happened, it would have been mentioned here. I really do. But there's no mention of that. So it's hard
like
to
I said, even if he did
give
mention it,
that
he knows
benefit
age.
of
He
the
knows
doubt
age.
that he didn't know. Because I think he would have
Even if you don't know, it don't
that
matter.
was the case. I
You're
also
a
think it's
gray-haired
pretty
man.
telling that some of the closest people to Dr. Disrespect are coming forward saying how unacceptable it was in distancing themselves from him, because if he didn't know that he was communicating with a minor, he probably would have told them at the very least, but they're not saying that either. So here's Robert Bowling, one of his business partners here, saying, if you inappropriately message a minor, I cannot work with you, period. I promised to only act on facts, and I did. So
That man couldn't have said it any better.
really don't think there's a whole lot of wiggle room about Doc not knowing that he was communicating with a minor. Like, I feel like there's been plenty of opportunities now for that information to have come out from somewhere, but nobody is saying that other than people theorizing and hoping that maybe that's the case. But Doc himself has never said that that was a possibility. He'd never even hinted that he didn't know the person's age, and the people closest to him aren't saying that either. So I really think that it's likely that he did know that, and he still had these conversations that lean to being inappropriate with someone he knew to be a minor, which is fucking disgusting. Now, there are people still defending this, saying, well, he didn't go to jail for it, so what's the big deal? Can't wait for the next stream.
Millions of pedophiles in this world that don't go to jail.
Doc, firm handshakes. Like, there's people that are just dismissing this as not a big deal, which is insanity. I think that is pure lunacy. I can't fucking believe some of what I'm reading here from people that are just writing this off as not a big deal because it's a streamer they like.
Yeah,
An
that's
adult
insane.
communicating inappropriately with a minor is bad.
Not just an
Full stop.
adult.
It's
He's an
inexcusable.
old man.
No matter how you spin it, that is a horrible thing.
He has gray
Now,
hair.
he may not have met up with the minor in question. However, was that his decision? Was he the one that decided not to meet up with him? Because with the information that's been come out, now, again, keep in mind, we don't have access to the chat log, like the conversations that took place, but from all
yeah,
the
I wish we
sources
could
that
see
have
the
come out
chat
from,
log.
like Bloomberg and all of that, it sounds like the conversation they had did talk about meeting up at TwitchCon. So, that right there shows pretty real intent to meet up with this person. And
yeah,
who knows?
crazy.
Maybe it was the minor that ultimately got uncomfortable with this whole thing and called it off, not the doc. We don't know for sure. The only thing we do know for sure with what the doc just confirmed is that he was talking
the doc was found out by somebody in his team
with a minor, which is a
or
terrible,
just
terrible
he was
thing.
Really, really fucking
and
up.
even his closest friends are saying they can't defend it. It's inexcusable, and they're right.
It is.
It is inexcusable.
That's exactly
but
right.
There are still people trying to defend it, as pathetic as that is.
If Charlie was in
and
this,
Dr.
I would not be
Disrespect
watching this
claims
video.
that he's going to come back at some point. And I have no doubt when he does, he's still going to have a massive audience. I can already tell.
He probably will have a massive audience just because of who he was before these allegations, but I don't think anybody should let him on his platform. I think they should deplatform him. I mean, he admitted to talking to a minor. He admitted to trying to meet up with a minor at the convention. For me, that is unacceptable. I mean, if you get one of these allegations thrown at you, I get it ain't always true, but this is like the worst of the worst, and you admitted to it. You should be deplatformed. You should not be able to do anything. You should go to a prison, and you should sit the rest of your life, and all your funds should go to your children.
Based on the amount of people jumping through hoops, trying to find ways of justifying this and spinning it in ways where he doesn't look evil, which is impossible, but they're doing their best. So I know when he comes back, he will probably have tons of viewers and tons of donations out the fucking wazoo, saying things like, keep your head up, Doc, don't let cancel culture get you down. It's just a fucking cancel culture mob that came after you. You're a victim of that mob, that's it. Which is just so unhinged. He has openly admitted, in his own words, to inappropriately talking to a minor. It's just craziness. So, that's the update to this whole.
Alright, that's everything. This is the original video right here. Like it. Everybody go. The only reason I'm not subscribed to him on here is this channel. But he said it better than anybody could have said it themselves. I mean, you're a pedo. Straight up. And I think there should be a zero tolerance policy on that. I think no matter what, if you admit to being a pedo, you should not have a platform. You should not have nothing. All your funds should be taken. They should be given to your children. And you should go sit in a fucking prison and reflect on what the hell you did. That's fucking sick, man.